Next morning comes, everybody starts arguing with each other about how this isn't safe. Herschel is like, this is my farm, I'm not going anywhere, and I have kept my family safe for years, and there should be no reason anything should happen. And then that's when Ed comes up to Shane and is like, basically, hey, I gotta get my family out of here. If this place isn't safe, nobody is safe. And Shane is like, you sit your ass back and listen, because we are doing this as a group. Which then Kenny and Lee have to get into the middle of it. Ed and Shane are not on good terms, and they're fighting like heavy. And so Shane decides to make a glorious plan later that night. So Ed is like, fuck you, whatever. And so he decides to get Carol and Sophia, who are terrified of Ed. And while that is happening, Lori is trying to talk to Shane again, explaining to him like, hey, something doesn't feel right here, what are you gonna do? And Shane is like, it's okay, I'll try to help you. And Dale is like, what the hell, Lori, you're talking to this man after everything he did? And Lori's like, hey, it is what it is. And basically T-Dog, Jim, and Doug are trying to make a plan, so is Merle and Daryl. So later that night, the night comes again. Lee is helping Herschel and Sean around the house, and Jimmy and Kenny are with each other to help. T-Dog and Jim volunteered to help, as the rest of the group is basically like, hey, what do we do? What kind of thing do we have to do? Where do we have to go? Ed takes a walk in the woods just to go take a piss, and Shane follows him. While Shane is following him, Ed continues to go out to a secret place, and while he's going to a secret place, Shane keeps following, and once again, we don't know what happens. So while that is happening, Doug joins in with the members of Herschel, and Morales joins in. Basically, he's like, hey, how can I help? Larry goes back with his daughter Lily. Katja is keeping Duck safe. Lori and Dale are having a conversation as Merle butts in and is just wanting to listen to the old man. Daryl is basically keeping Coral, Miranda, Eliza, Carol, and Sophia safe, and the girls are being protected by Otis, which is Andrea, Beth, Maggie, and Patricia. While that is happening, the nightfall is officially here. Shane and Ed are in the middle of a field, and Shane spots a herd of walkers, and so does Ed. Ed turns around and sees Shane behind him, following him the whole time, talking about some, what the fuck are you doing here? Why are you following me? And Shane is like, we got a lot of problems, Ed. You're causing stuff for your family, and you are gonna get them killed. Carol is terrified of you, and Sophia doesn't want you around. And Ed starts bowing up to Shane, talking about some, leave me the fuck alone and my family, because we're leaving tonight, and if you stop me, I will hurt you. And Shane is like, alright, I take that as a threat. He pulls out his gun and threatens to shoot Ed. And Ed is like, whoa, man, you don't have to do all that. And Shane is like, nah, I do. Because ever since the camp, I have seen the way you treat your wife. Pulling her, hitting your kid, doing everything. Tonight, I'm gonna end you. And if I don't, then those monsters will. And there ain't nothing you can fucking do about that, Ed. So Ed is pissed. And he's like, alright, Shane. He pulls out a knife and hides it behind his back. And Shane notices it but doesn't say anything. And so, after that, we cut back to Lee and the group finishing off their work for the night. And as they're fixing to go to bed, Herschel spots a horde of walkers coming. He doesn't say anything except for, hey, get ready because we might have to fight tonight. And Lee and Kenny are like, oh, okay, well, that's no problem. Let me make sure the group is okay. So Sean goes up to Otis and is like, hey, my father said that there's walkers coming. Make sure that we're prepared. And he's like, oh, okay. Larry then ends up figuring out something. And he goes up to Jim and Doug and says, hey, there's walkers on the other side. And T-Dog overhears it and tells Kenny, Lee, and Herschel, hey, there's walkers surrounding the place. What do we do? And that's when Herschel is like, shit, what do we gotta do? And Lee is like, well, let me start up the RV before something happens. And so Lee goes to start the RV with Kenny. And now, this is where we get to the climax of this episode. Who is the one that gets shot or stabbed? So heads is Shane, tails is Ed. Shane, okay. So as Ed has the knife behind his back, Shane has the weapon ready to fire. And after that, Ed runs at him with the knife and is like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Boom, boom, boom. Ed is shot 3 times, twice in the neck and 1 in the head. Ed is officially dead. Shane notices it and says, shit, I gotta do something. As the gunshots ring out, Carl oversees it. And Shane is like, shit, Carl, shit. And Carl's upset and is like, oh no. And Shane is like, hey, I gotta tell you, that man was bad. He was gonna hurt us. And a zombie-fied Ed comes back up and tries to bite Shane. But then Carl, bam, shoots Walker Ed. See, it's the same thing as when Rick was killed by Shane. But anyways, this is a different story. Now, let's roll 20 and see how many people get bitten. $12 people? Holy shit. Okay. So 12 people get bitten. Okay, well, let me fix this real quick. So Ed was shot in the head and killed. Okay, yep. Alright. Let's do this.